As we're in the last 10 days of Ramadan, I know it can be very overwhelming trying to keep up with so many du'as. There's so much we want to say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But remember, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam recommended, Allahumma, innaka afuwwun, tuhibbul afwa. You can find that in one of the authentic hadiths of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What does this mean? We're seeking is afuw, which is better than his ghafur. Ghafur is to seek his forgiveness. Of course, there's still a record of it. But afuw is to seek a total pardon, the entire record being expunged. So there's no evidence of it. So as shaitan will end up explaining entire, no evidence. So this is a testament of Allah's love and mercy, and care for us. And that's why I laugh when haters, the ignorant and the arrogant haters of Islam say that, in all of the attributes of Allah, there is none that describes his love for us. Ignoring the fact that Al-Wadud literally means the loving. What about the other names like Rahman, the beneficent, Rahim, the merciful, Latif, the kind? You see, even these names have deeper meaning than what we know them to be. The Arabic language has a vast variety of vocabulary, so it's not always easy finding the exact word that translates it in other language. So that's why we find a lot of synonyms. Jazakallah khairan to Sheikh Omar Suleiman for his names I need. He got to expose us to so many of these wonderful names. And in these last 10 days of Ramadan, you can use these names to seek Allah's blessings and mercy. One of it is Al-Latif. We will usually say it's the kind, but Al-Latif means much more than that. The kind is just a derivative, of his attributes, like an end product or one of the end products of his attributes. So if you're to check some other translations, they will say is the most gentle, the most subtle, the most affectionate. All of this signifies Allah's extreme kindness, care, meticulous attention to detail, managing affairs in subtle, hidden ways that often goes unnoticed. Subhanallah. For those who might not really understand, let me break it down. Let me use an analogy to explain. So let's say there's a woman, who's been barren for more than 20 years. She has lost hope on having a child and she's depressed because of it. And then all of a sudden, after like 20 years, Allah decides to bless her with a child. Imagine how she's going to care for that child when she's holding that child in her arms for the very first time. Very careful, very gentle, very soft, very watchful, very attentive, very affectionate. Now multiply that by infinity. That's Al-Latif's Rahmah upon us. That's Allah's Al-Latif upon us. I know some might say, okay, if Allah is Al-Latif, then why do we still, go through trials? Why do we still suffer, Also, don't forget that Allah is Alim al-Hakim, the knowledgeable and the wise. In his wisdom and, in his knowledge, he knows that, okay, whatever challenge it is we're going through, perhaps is to draw us closer to him. Perhaps is to, make us stronger. Perhaps is to prepare us for what is to come. Perhaps is to serve as a means of expiation for some of our past misdeeds. If you don't understand, let me give you another analogy. Let us go back to that woman. So now she has the baby. The baby needs to get immunized, okay? And most of the immunization process will involve, injecting the baby. That's going to cause a lot of pain and discomfort for the child. But the mother understands that this is temporary pain for permanent gain, because in the long run, the child needs to be healthy and strong. Do you get that? Let me give another analogy. Let's fast forward that the child is like, say, age 3, age 4. That's the age where they don't really want to go to school, but the mother has to put that child in school. So even though it's temporary inconvenience for the child, in the long run, it is still something for the better of the child. And Allah's wisdom and knowledge is way much more than any human capacity, is times infinity. So in his wisdom, in his knowledge, he knows that whatever challenge we are going through, it is for our own good. So that is why we as Muslims, we should always try our best to never fall into despair. So always remember, Allah is Al-Latif. So as we are seeking for his afuw in these last 10 days of Ramadan, let us also remember to seek for his lutf. Let us remember to seek for his mercy. Let us remember to seek for his blessings. Let us remember to seek for his forgiveness. And I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us all to witness the night of Laylatul Qadr in a state where Allah is pleased with us and we are pleased with him. My brothers, my sisters, don't play. The night of Laylatul Qadr is upon us. Masalam.